going. Good boy, Finn. I'm going to be taking Finn out on a long line today. Make sure he's hooked up securely to both lines. Yep, okay. Let's go, Finn. And what I'd really like to see here is natural exploration from Finn. And I'm going to use the long line to facilitate that. I'm seeing relatively natural exploration right now. Where he's just walking around the environment and looking at things. And then this also gives him, because he's not dangerous towards any person, it gives him an opportunity in situations like this where he sees somebody coming to make his own choice about where he's going to go and what he's going to do. He could decide to retreat and create distance. So he spots it. Or he could decide to do this, right? Remain relatively neutral. And it's kind of like, look. And then we're going to watch what his other behavior looks like. Does he look frantic? Or is he just kind of like engaging with the environment naturally like a dog would and sniffing things? And like, what kind of sniffing are we looking at here? And we'll only know that by what's opened up afterwards. Does he sniff in kind of like a curved arc and go and sniff things? Or does he look kind of panicked the whole time and kind of look freaked out, right? And sniff in a frantic way. Those are the real questions we have here. And so far, it doesn't look too terrible, right? He's kind of just looking around and he's alternating between looking around and sniffing things. I mean, it is Finn, so he looks a little stressed, but he doesn't look overly, like, freaked out or anything like that, and he hasn't felt any line pressure yet. He's about 50 feet from me now. That's how long this line is. Well, sorry, bud. Good boy. I'm kind of letting him check things out. Good boy, Finn. Yeah, let's go. Come on, Finn. He's freezing up just a little bit there. So this is kind of like, I'm seeing a mix. Originally, things looked slightly more exploratory, but now he's looking a little like, ooh. He's still like kind of hyper-vigilant and a little stressy, I see. But this is definitely looking better than earlier on in the program. And so really what we're trying to create here is an openness for Finn to start thinking. And what I'm looking for is that he's able to re-engage naturally with the environment and sniff things and look at things without being frozen by things, like seeing a person or hearing a sound. And then that he's able to reliably respond to cues without being frozen up or panicked or anything like that. So I'm going to try a cue now. Finn, come. Come on. Good boy. Come on. Finn, come. I'm going to give him a little pressure on the line here and have him come that way. Finn, come. Come on. Good boy, come. Finn, come. Coming? Good boy, coming? Good job. You go, Finn. Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Oh. Good boy, Finn. Good job. Let's go, Finn. Come on. Good boy. All right, so we're just going to keep walking here. I did have to guide him a little with the leash because, again, you can see that Finn's MO is that what he will do is choose to kind of freeze and hide, right? He'll just freeze up and like stay where he's at. And what we need is for him to make a more natural choice where he decides to respond to a cue. We can only get that by cultivating some openness and allowing him space to retreat, but then also still requiring that he does come back and do the thing. So there's a balance there, right? So you get, you have different ways of trying to resolve stress and fear and panic, and the three strongest ways to do so, like the S tier options, are natural exploration, right? Exploring the environment on a long line or something like that, like on a long line or on a flexi. And then the other S tier option is physical exercise, right? Especially like a nice jog in that kind of environment. So not just on a treadmill. On a treadmill is good, but in this kind of environment it's better. And then being given within those confines space to make choices and retreat if he feels it necessary, as long as he's not practicing panic. Good boy. Hi. Good job, Finn. See, it's all right. Go, come on. Good boy. So, like, even like right there, as an example, you got the line stuck on your face, dude. He was given an opportunity to kind of make a choice. Like, he could just look and decide what he's going to do with that without being pressured into anything. And he was able to say, like, hey, look, nothing happens. And so he didn't get any kind of physical constraint there. And then the third S tier option, other than environmental exploration, combined with like medium level intensity exercise, like some jogging, is negative reinforcement. So being asked to do a thing, and he can build coping skills and resilience skills that way. So putting some line pressure and some e-collar pressure to make sure he comes back or does a particular command not only produces reliability in the command, but also increases resilience to stress and enables Finn to begin coping with his environment better. Good boy. Good job, Finn. Let's go, bud. Good job, man. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Good job. Oh, Finn's fast. Finn's fast. Oh, you want to sniff that? Oh, boy. Let's go. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's go. Good job. You run. Let me see that ear run. Yeah. Good boy. And really all I'm looking for is to see some natural dog movement, right? I want to see him doing doggy things. Like that. That's a dog thing. And building those kinds of coping mechanisms and helping start feeling stress and coping with it in a different way, whether it be through simple observation or ignoring the thing or going to do a different feeling activity, like sniffing around, rolling, whatever it is that he wants to do, or like what would be goated is when you get him to play with me with the tug. That's the kind of stuff that is the primary road to recovery here. Like that right there, that's beautiful. That's exactly what I want to see, right? A nice curved, like, way to do it. And, you know, like, just natural environmental exploration. He saw something he was interested in and went and saw it. You know? Good boy, let's go. And that's the kind of thing that'll open him up in more stressful and tight situations. That's the road to getting him opened up in those areas and starting to make sensible choices. And choices that don't leave him in a frozen or panic state. Finn, sit. Okay, good boy. And that right there is like a good indicator, like, hey, like, he understands the command. He went ahead and sat, right? And then he got a release. So there was no harm done there. And then he can see that the result of following the command without requiring any kind of negative reinforcement from my end, in this case, results in two things. One, he avoids any kind of pressure. Good boy. And number two, he's able to immediately go back to the thing that he finds enjoyable, which is just walking around and sniffing things. Which is all we want for Finn in the first place, is that he has opportunities like this with people to go, Finn, come. Finn, come. Come. Finn. Come. Okay, see, now he's making a choice that makes no sense, right? Finn. And this is why we do that word. Come on. Come. Come. Nope. And see, this is the reason, one of the main reasons that we're working with Finn, is because he makes silly decisions like this. Finn, come on. Get out of there. You've tangled yourself. There you go. Why'd you do that? And it's those kinds of decisions that make it where Finn can't have the kind of freedom that he deserves, is because he makes decisions like that. He goes and hides and runs in the bush instead of complying with command. Finn, come. Good boy, come on. Good job. Good boy, Finn. Good. Okay. Right? And so that enables him to see the difference between the two. Right? Right there was a wonderful learning opportunity for Finn, where he learned the first one results in further pressure, and that hiding was not useful for him. Right? So when I applied negative reinforcement on the command, that momentarily increased stress, but once he found the way out, and then he did comply with the command, that reduces stress in a huge way, right? And it gives him a different mental model to start thinking about it within. Good boy! And it opens up his freedom to go run and do things, right? Now, that right there is good because he ran out, and, you know, like, at first, it's hard for me to decipher, like, is that a panic run? Is he, like, running back to the truck? Is he trying to get away from me? Or is he simply running out and then checking back in? Good boy. Good job, Finn. And one of the ways that's the most reliable test learning is to do a second trial. But before you do that second trial, you need to let the dog return to baseline, right? So that right there was stressful for Finn. Obviously, it was very stressful for Finn. There was some relatively heavy-duty negative reinforcement that happened. He didn't have a very good result. And then he finally did resolve the pressure. Good boy, Finn. Go, go. But now he needs time to do this, right? Where he goes out and sniffs things and starts doing things again. Because if I just immediately went right back to the recall here, that's when you end up with problems. Because then they internalize a different lesson than the one that you wanted to teach. So the one that you wanted to teach, the one that I was wanting to teach here, is that, hey, going ahead and coming back and just doing what I asked results in more freedom. It results in a complete relieval of any kind of stress. And you're going to feel good when you do it, right? You're going to get to run and play and sniff and do other things. Well, imagine if I let him run out again and then went right back to the recall. Went right back to CLME. If I did that, the lesson that he would internalize instead is that coming back does not relieve stress. It does not resolve the issue. Instead, it prolongs it, right? Because if he had just gotten away in the first place, right, and not come back to me, none of that would have happened. He would have been happy running away from me. He would have relieved his stress that way. Because by, good boy, good job, Finn, good boy. Because by coming back to me, he prolonged it because I went right back to it quickly. Oh, sorry, bud. Come on, let's go. I went right back to it really fast, which actually don't like become two distinct, coherent, like coherently distinct like events. They're not two different events in Finn's brain, right? Instead of being two coherently distinct events, it's just one prolonged event of negative reinforcement, which is no good. So if I don't allow for this, where he's like, hey, like, oh, I'm gonna go sniff this spot, I'm gonna go look at that, I'm gonna go do this, I'm gonna like jog, and then I'm gonna jog back, and then I'm gonna jog and I'm gonna wait for him, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna sniff the trash can, I'm gonna sniff the poop can, I'm gonna go do other stuff, and then get back to a relaxed state like this. Now is when I would be able to try to do another repetition, right? Now is when I would be able to coherently distinguish between the two events, where he got a finished product, is what you would say. He got a finished product. Oh, finished. His name's Finn. It's not a finished product. That's a terrible joke. No, but you get a finished product there, where he gets a full sequence. The full learning sequence is that you get a behavior, or you ask for a behavior, they try something, and it leads to a particular result. Whether it be prediction success, like if he came back, and that was his hypothesis, his theory about how to, like, relieve the pressure, and it worked, great. Or alternatively, what actually happened is a prediction error. He thought, okay, I can relieve the pressure by laying down and doing nothing. And then when that didn't work, okay, I'm going to try a different hypothesis. I'm going to go hide in the woods, in the thorn thicket, which also did not work. So that's two prediction errors right in a row. Neither of the things he tried worked. And then I'm just going to go run by him after he pulls me out of the thicket, so that I can try to get away again. That didn't work either. So all three of those, like prediction error, prediction error, prediction error, all three of the techniques he tried, none of them worked. Freezing didn't work. Running and hiding didn't work. Running by me in a panic didn't work. And then finally, the thing that worked was he came to me, and then everything was good. And it has been good for a minute here, right? For a good 4 or 5 minutes. Everything's been cool. So he's now at baseline. So we had that full sequence. We had a command given. He showed particular behaviors. There were prediction errors. And then after those like consequences that caused the prediction errors, Hi. This is
Friendly?
Finn. Friendly? Yes. Scared to death of everything? Also yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's why we're out here.
Are you a good puppy?
He's a very good boy. His name's Finn.
Finn?
Yep.
Hi, Finn. Hi.
I'm just shocked he hasn't run away yet,
Oh, come on.
because that's what he normally does.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah, he's getting better.
He's not going to run away till he has to.
Yeah, true.
Hi. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Good job,
You too.
Finn. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, nice fan. Look at that. I need one of those. Oh my gosh.
I got it at the flea market where the Amazon outlet is, sort of.
Yeah.
Two ladies, they run it.
Hmm.
It's all what was returned to them, but this box was not open.
That's great.
It's $5.
$5?
Yeah.
Shoot, I might have to look into those. Good job, Finn.
All right, bye.
Thank you. You did good, Finn. That was really good, buddy. And so then the other thing is that your behavior matters in these kinds of circumstances. Like, if I tighten the leash there, if he's not on a long line and I have a 6-foot line on him and I kind of rein him in and tell him, oh no, he's scared. Don't look at him. Don't stand that way. Finn's gonna see oh God, I was right. This is bad. Seeing people is scary, right? So that's another learning sequence, right? He learned there. Oh, these people walk up, they look at me. They don't do anything to me. They don't grab me. They don't touch me. They kind of look at me, and maybe I feel a little threatened by that. But, I can just kind of chill out and do nothing. And nothing bad happens. I don't have to panic or run away in fear or growl or bark. None of those things are required. In any of those cases, if he had done any of those things, they would have also resulted in prediction errors, right? Because I would have made those things not work for him. If he had started hackling and barking, I would have generated a prediction error by penalizing the behavior. I would have not let that continue. Because I would prefer that he, in those things, I'd prefer that he choose to create distance between himself and them, than to bark and raise his hackles and try to repel them, right? I don't want that. I would rather him increase distance. So I'd penalize that and hope that he increases distance. And if he makes that choice, then I wouldn't do anything, right? That would relieve the pressure. So increasing distance would be fine. And then from there, I would be able to go through the next choices. But instead, he actually made a really good choice, which is just to chill out and leave it, right? Good boy. All right, Finn, let's go back. Good boy, you're getting hot. You're getting hot. Now I'm just waiting for him to start to create some distance in between us so that I can practice a recall here. I know that there's one instance where he does that relatively reliably here. And that's once we start getting back closer to the truck. The vast majority of dogs will try to get back to the truck. They will think that that's a great idea. They'll want to go back. So, especially a dog like that. I'll probably get an opportunity to do it then and show him hey, trying to retreat and go hide under the truck. That's not going to work at all. Right? Good boy. But very often in these kinds of anxiety/nervous cases, more is not more is less. Less is more. So less repetitions, more exploration, and choose the points in that setting that you do the next repetition carefully. All right, Finn, down. Okay. Finn, okay. Good boy. Good job. All right, let's go. Good job, buddy. Let's go. And see, that right there, you can tell he's in a headspace, even after seeing those people, even after that moment of panic when he didn't want to come back to me. He's in a headspace where he can think, he can perceive my actions in a way that is coherent to him. He can make choices. He can make decisions. He has mental headspace to process. He can process. His processing power is there. Whereas when he's in that fight or flight, that freeze, fight, flight, freeze thing, when he's panicking, his processing capacities are completely gone out the window. So he's panicking and then has an inability to process, the inputs and produce an output that makes any sense, right? So his actions don't cohere with mine. He can't figure out what to do with that because of that panic. Because of that panic, it produces the inability to choose a good option. And so that's why I can't let him practice the panic without some kind of consequence that makes it clearer to him, that produces then I also, if you think about like learning with students in a classroom and a teacher and like human students, you can't theory overload them either. You can't overload them with a whole bunch of things that they should or shouldn't be doing, right? You shouldn't overload them with like 10 concepts at once. They won't be able to learn all 10 concepts. Instead, you go one at a time and you work out those concepts and related concepts little by little and expand the bubble that way. And so that's what we're doing with that, right? Now, the other area where I feel like he might decide to like create some distance that I could use as an opportunity for a recall is here on the bridge. So we'll see if he does that. Good boy, Finn. Good job, buddy. The one thing that I want to prevent is that Finn's the kind of dog that panics so hard that, as you saw, like running into that thorn thicket made zero sense at all. It's like a terrible choice. And like he's tried to jump out of car windows. He's tried to do all kinds of crazy things. So we can't like allow the possibility of injury here. So asking for the recall here on the bridge and having him recall back to me on the bridge, I was kind of like gauging it and seeing like what his reactions were earlier, and he was kind of sticking his head through the bar. So I think that he was thinking silly, very, very dumb thoughts about, like, I think he'd jump off the bridge and hang himself if he panicked, and we can't allow something like that. So I'll probably not push that kind of stuff here in this setting with the bridge where he could be a danger to himself, right? And we have to think about those kinds of things when we are rehabilitating dogs that have really severe fear reactions like that. Now, the other interesting thing that could happen is that we could see somebody walking with a dog, and in that case, I would shorten up the line. That's not this case, but I would shorten up the line and not allow for, like, just for safety reasons. For safety/management reasons, I would do that. But I wouldn't put pressure on the line unless he tried to do something foolish. So let's see how he reacts to this guy. Hi.
How are you, sir?
Doing good. How are you?
Can I pet?
You can give it a shot if he'll let you.
He's not interested.
He's a really fearful doggy. Yeah, he's scared.
And that's good.
But it's good that he at least walks by.
He's tired and he's hot. Yeah,
he was tired and hot too.
Yeah,
but like before, his head would go straight down and he would avoid. Right. He would try to escape. In this case, he just walked by you, and that's like a neutral reaction. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. Is he a rescue?
Yes, he was a foster fail, and I'm training him for his people. He's made a lot of progress over the past few weeks.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
good.
And like honestly, I was just talking to the camera. It's like, hey, the 3 most powerful things in case you're ever working with a dog that's like this.
Right.
One is like physical exercise is huge. So like especially like moderate pace like jogging.
Sure.
Just because happy stuff.
Endorphins.
Yeah, endorphins. And then the second one is give him space to explore and go do things and make choices, but safely. And then the third one is teaching them how to deal with a little bit of pressure. So you use what's called negative reinforcement. Okay. So you put a little bit of pressure on them, and then once they kind of comply with the choice, then you release, and then they get to go do whatever they want. They go back to that freedom.
So he picks up on...
Yeah, then he learns to... So you're basically like teaching him commands.
And it's okay.
Yeah, it can help him to like deal with the panic. It's kind of like, you probably remember like when you got your first job.
Yeah.
You know, probably like, it's kind of overwhelming at first.
Nervous.
But then, and probably for good reason, like, but then you experience first time like somebody puts some pressure on you.
Right.
And like you learn a lot from that experience. If like you're able to like escape that pressure by complying with the thing at work,
right,
then you start to develop confidence in yourself because you have competence. Because you're like, I can just do this. And then you start learning like, hey, I can avoid the pressure entirely if I do it before they ask. if I anticipate what they're going
That's a
to
good
ask me to
thing.
do and just do it. And then it's like, hey, you start to like develop as a person, and now you're a grown man,
Right.
right? And you're like, hey, I'm not that worried about life
That's
because
right.
like I know I can do these 5 things
Uh-huh.
and resolve 80% of the pressure in my life.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, man. What? I appreciate. What's your name?
Hey, Kevin,
Kevin Kelton.
nice to meet
Good to
you,
meet you
sir.
too.
Yeah.
Sorry for the weird
No.
3-fingered handshake there. I just don't want to don't want to
Appreciate
e-collar
what you
him.
do
Yeah,
for the animals.
yeah, we love him.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, he needs to have a full life, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Have a great day.
You too. Good job, Finn. You did great. You did so good. So you can see Finn did really, really well there. He walked by the person neutrally. He didn't panic or freeze up or freak out. He just created some distance. And then he sat and waited for me, right? That is beautiful, and that's like an acceptable response. That works. That can work in real life, right? Especially if you have, say, like a flexi. See, because this is also, I want to make a case for using longer leashes. With a dog like this, if you had him on a 6-foot leash and he couldn't escape, what would that create? Well, immediately he hits the end of that 6-foot line, and what happens? Leash pressure, right? So now there's restraint. There's a thing he fears, or a thing that creates anxiety or nervousness in him, and he can't get away. He can't go anywhere. There's no alternative choice, right? And especially if then I like forced him to like greet this person, and a lot of people do that in the name of like socialization. That kind of forced socialization ain't gonna work. It's gonna cause more problems. Instead, you just allow him to make a choice that's acceptable, and you can do that if you have a retractable or if you have a long line. You can't do that with a 6-foot leash. So, yet again, stop with the 6-foot leashes. They're gross. They don't work. They cause more problems. I don't like them very much for this kind of rehab work, especially. Allow the dog to make choices and learn from those choices. If you don't have any choice points and you're constantly managing them really hard, they can't learn. They can't do anything. Good boy, Finn. Finn, down. Down. Okay. Finn, okay. Good boy. Good job. Good job. Good boy, Finn. Come on, Finn, let's go. Let's go, Finland. Come on. Good boy. Run, run, run. Smart boy. It's a good dog. And this is where you can start seeing like normal dog behavior from a dog like Finn. He can be happy, right? He has control over his life. And that's what you want. You want to see him have control over his life. Good boy. All right, and so I'm hoping that this will be the opportunity that I want to get one more repetition in on the recall. All right, let's go. He's just choosing to wait for me. That's fine. Oh, sorry, bro. That's on your face. Good boy. That's on your face again. You can keep doing that weird OCD thing. Alright, now he's gonna like panic jump into this thing. So I need to open it up before he gets sorted. Alright, Finn, go home. Go home. Oh, Christ. That was really like a crazy way to do that, Finn. That was intense. Alright, you're gonna cool down in there, buddy. You did really good, man. He did so good. He did so good. That was awesome, Finn. So awesome. So awesome, man. It's amazing. I'm so happy to see that. It was so good. Alright, Finny. Cool off. The truck running so the AC would be good.